Hello my friends, Hamp Thomas here again today, and there's a new one that's come out. It's one of those things where you couldn't believe it if you didn't see it with your own eyes. But this is an ad in a national magazine bad-mouthing appraisers now. And look at who this is. This is the Fair Housing Organization, the National Fair Housing Alliance. And this commercial, or this ad says, they got $475,000 on one house and $380,000 on another house. One's in beige, one's in blue, but the same house. And they're saying the value is different just because of the pictures that were on the wall, the color of people's skins or something. What this is, I mean, this ought to be illegal, guys. This is just insane that they can get away with this. And they're spending our tax dollars to tell people how bad appraisers are. And this, what is this based? I say, show me some proof. You know, this is based on the opinions of a very few people. And now they're going to convince the American public that everybody, all appraisers, are bad at their jobs. And look at what this is. This is a link at where to complain. We're not only going to tell you how bad the appraisers are, we're going to give you a link to go and file a complaint against them. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if appraisers had a link to file a complaint against Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac when they file an unsigned complaint against appraisers? Or how about appraisal management companies, you know, that have non-disclosures? People think appraisals cost too much. Well, they are going up, but why is that? It's because of appraisal management companies. It's not because of appraisers. I just don't know how they can get away with this, and it really does. It puts a bullseye right on the back of every working appraiser. You know, and basically the ad says appraisers are bad, don't trust their numbers. Use our computer valuation services. You can trust us. We can trust the government. You know, we just can't trust those bad appraisers. But think about this. Someone at the National Fair Housing Office went to work one day last month and they said, okay, what can we do to smear appraisers this week? And with all these talk about AMCs and the non-disclosure of fees, and there's been some great articles out recently. Desiree put out a great article that gives you proof. We have proof of what they're doing, but they run these ads without proof. Where are our appraisal associations? Maybe we need to run some ads talking about some of these things that are going on and even show consumers proof. You know, you obviously don't have to tell the truth in an ad. They don't have to tell the truth. Why do we? Why do we have to keep getting stepped on, guys? But they said, you know, appraisers are the only ones trustworthy in the mortgage lending business here. We're the only ones that don't have a profit to make off of all these things going on. But the lenders and Fannie Mae, you know, it's all about them making money. And the AMCs, they're in it for the money. Make no mistake, appraisers should be the ones getting promoted and being more important than ever. And they're choosing to smear us and give consumers a place to go and complain about us if it wasn't bad enough. It's just wrong. It's un-American. It is downright wrong, guys. Please show us the proof, I say to him, you know, the National Fair Housing Organization. Anyway, you know, I would be glad to look at their proof. They don't have any proof. They have a couple of opinions, and most of the time we can prove those opinions are wrong. And if you follow the trail of what happened, it gets proven in the end that it was wrong. It was a smear. You know, they shouldn't be able to use it. Is that bias? I don't know, but it sure sounds like they're publishing things that are lies and telling people that appraisers are doing a bad job. But what I want to know is how they can get away with putting this ad, spending a lot of money in a national magazine and telling people that appraisers are doing bad jobs and giving them a link to click on to go to file a complaint. Guys, this is un-American. When are we ever going to fight back? I know we have to roll with the changes, and I'm okay with changes. However, this is downright un-American. That's not free speech. That is inaccurate. You know, you call it free speech, whatever. It's inaccurate. It's based on a lie, and it needs to stop. And we need to start shouting louder than they are. Thanks for watching.